Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Road to Grandmaster. Kicking it off with Ambush Pass. We've seen this map before. I think it was the second game on this account. The gameplay is going to look a little different this time. The build order will stay the same, but we've unlocked Air, Tech 2, and our ACU can leave the base this time, which will help a lot. Now this is a small map, 5x5, and typically tanks are more effective than air, so I'm going to start with second land. And I might not go air until a while later. This is going to be my unit queue. Actually, you know what? On a 5x5, you usually want a little more tanks in the early queue. Your opponent can raid you a lot faster, so having more tanks will help. But as we did previously, the first few engineers are just going to expand to whatever we can. Next one I'll send to the left. I'm going to protect the two engineers on the right, of course. This probably looks familiar to you. It's the exact same opening, pretty much. Now every mech is queued up. There's not much more to do for me other than assisting the ACU. So that's what we're going to do. And every time we give an engineer an order, we can pay attention to the tank. I could send my tank to the left, but I can also send it to the right and absolutely ensure that these two live. I'm going to send it to the left. I think both are fine. But I'm going to put my eggs in 2 baskets. See how that pans out. It's a slow-moving unit, probably an engineer. Go ahead and take care of it. I could push forward, but I'm expecting a tank there, so I'm just playing it safe for now. Gonna do the usual land queue. And we have 3 engineers in the base. I think that will be enough to spend our resources. So I'm now gonna leave the base with my ACU. These engineers, we clearly need a bit of power. Are gonna build some. Is 4 gonna be enough? Once they finish, will be plus 80. I'm gonna add a 5th. And I think at that point we can afford some more factories. And I'm gonna be really late with air. I think you can afford to be. Okay. His ACU is on the left as well. It's gonna be a bit tricky. Let's put one more engineer on the ACU. I'm gonna build a point defense here. I think that'll be very useful in locking this down. Especially because our opponent is Aeon and his tanks outrange ours. Having a point defense to fall back to is going to be very useful. That one factory is moving to the right, going to move the other to the left. Let's be a little careful, because all I have is an ACU and 1 tank. Okay, he's being careful too, so maybe he doesn't have many units either. I'm gonna assist this factory. So we have 2 factories going to the left. And I'll take some engineers, build a bit more power. Not a crazy amount. Okay, he's trying to attack, but I have a point defense, so I'm just gonna let him do it. Let him walk right into it. Okay, my radar goes down. That's not a good time. I guess we'll have to move in to give our point defense some intel. Let's prepare this thing. So it just barely survives. Gonna assist this factory, 2 factories to the left, 2 to the right. And let's build a point defense over here. I mean a radar. And I suppose I am kind of curious what he is doing now. My next factory will be an air factory. And let's give it this cube. So he now has artillery. You can also see that he doesn't have many units, so I'm gonna go move in an attempt to kill them. Let's rebuild the point defense. Yeah, there's more units than me, so I'm gonna go ahead and retreat. But the left side seems to be completely empty. So we're gonna right-click this to capture the engineer. And then build the other 2 with the ACU. Move the tanks forward. And let's finally see what's going on over there. Point defense is done again. By the way, if you build on top of a wreck, it will start with 50% completion. Or progress, I should say. Unless the wreck has been damaged. Our opponent has 2 factories. 2 Tech 2 mass extractors. So that is why we are ahead on units. And I'm gonna guess he's been sending most units to the right, and he doesn't have many on the left. He just built 2 factories with his ACU, but there's not many tanks, so let's move in. Let's see if we can kill those factories. Set back his production even more. And we have some mass now. What I'm gonna do is rush a Tech 2 mass extractor. Kind of solidify our mass lead now that we have all of this expansion to work with. And he's not running. I'm gonna follow him. Some space frees up on the right. Let's take it. As long as there's no tanks to defend him, let's just follow him. I think we can kill him here. Now let's focus him down with our tanks. Just keep walking. And he calls GG and we take him out. The GG's to Lazarus. I think Tech 2 mexes were not the move. If he just had more tanks, I reckon he could have won this or this. But the way he played, he kind of just lost both. And also this. Energy storage. I haven't built any yet because I haven't been able to leave the base with my ACU until now. But the purpose of energy storage, pretty much, is just to allow overcharge, which, I mean, if you build an energy storage, you can see for yourself what it is, but it's a very powerful weapon on your ACU. It one-shots any unit up to Tech 3 if you have enough power. But for Tech 1, 1 energy storage is enough, and for Tech 2, maybe 2 or 3 at most. So this is not necessary. They are very expensive. You could have had, well, 3 factories instead of these 3. That's how expensive they are. But pretty confident victory, so let's move on to the next game. Okay, there we go. Got our second game. The opponent kind of low rated. But we're gonna continue as usual with the standard build. I'm gonna go second land here because this map is predominantly land. And as a matter of fact, there's a lot of open space in and around the base. And when a map is this open, whoops, didn't mean to use a hotkey. When the map is this open, light assault bots are much more powerful than they would be on a closed off map. So I'm going to make some early harassing tanks and then a slightly later defending tank. And then continue with a bunch of engineers. The engineer I will of course send out to expand. And one thing I want to expand upon in this game is the usage of attack move, because it's not just useful for interceptors in airfights. It can also be really useful in using your tanks. So that's what I want to try this game. We're gonna split up the labs. Give each of them a scout. And see what they can do. Kind of the two most natural expansion paths here that I'm going to try to block off. And then we will continue expanding. We're not afraid to give our engineers long queues as always. But yeah, the way attack move works is it's basically a regular move order. As you can see, engineers going to move in this direction. Except it's not going to, like if you move a tank, let's say there's a tank here for the opponent, and I have my tank and I give a move order this direction, it's just going to move there, ignoring the other tank. But if you give an attack move order with alt right click, it's going to drive forward until it sees a tank and then stop to shoot it at maximum range. So it can be useful to use the range on your tanks well, especially useful with like long-range units, of course, so artillery, shooting point defense, or long-range T2 bots shooting Tech 1 tanks, for example. And here's some light assault bot firing going off. So we've run into the opponent's engineer. It's great for us. We're going to keep running behind the back. This is a fast-moving unit, so that's not an engineer. We're not interested. So the engineers are idle at this point because I've been talking too much. Power is getting kind of low. And the thing is, if you have mass and storage and you're +0, let's say my power is 0 as well, as soon as I start spending mass, it's also going to start spending power. So this is kind of a sign that I need power soon. There's another engineer I missed here in the back. Let's go and get it. I'm kind of running low on mass, so I will let engineers continue building for me. In my ACU I can send in 3 different directions, that is one of the corner expansions or the middle of the map, and each expansion holds 4 mexes, but this also is a strong strategical position and it holds a bunch of reclaim. Like middle is always important, you can reach anywhere from it the easiest. So I'm going to move my ACU to the middle and not the sides. I'm going to give this factory a queue to the other corner of the map. I'm not worried about moving these for the moment. I think spending my mass is more important. But you might have noticed there is some point defense in the middle. I'm going to build a factory here with the ACU as well. That'll serve to make me some artillery. You could make it from the main base as well. But this is easier. Okay, so this engineer looks relatively safe. Looks like we might get that expansion. This engineer is about to go down as well. Yeah, I could run into the base, but that's just risking my lab into tanks. So I'm not going to do that, and it works out for me. Let's take some more tanks and run to the bottom. I kind of think it's time for an air factory. So let's go make one. Include a bomber in that queue. Let's push up a slight bit, see if we can... Might be an engineer here, actually. We might have sent a new one up here. Let's just go check. We have an air scout now as well. Power's running kind of low. We're going to queue a bit more. Now, I've kind of been arbitrarily drawing lines of power without explaining why I'm building the amount that I am. And might be stating the obvious, but it's depends on the amount of mass that you have. I mean, this map isn't extremely rich in mass. You ignore the reclaim. So I don't need a crazy amount of power. But for example, the previous episode, I was playing 20-kilometer maps with a bunch of mass extractors. And I'm going to have more mass there, so I'm also going to draw longer lines of power. Now, if I start building another factory, let's see what happens to my power. It hits the negative, but not extremely hard, so I think I'm good for now. Engineer to the bottom has died. It's kind of a long way, so I could send a new engineer, but I could also make myself a transport, stop the queue, and re-queue it. And since I might be getting more mass soon, I'll be building a little bit more power. We have our artillery. Now I could right-click all of these buildings one by one, but I think it's easier to just give one alt-right-click attack move. And you'll see exactly how it works. Let's give this some more units to build. Walk the ACU forward. As you can see, they are using their maximum range. It's a pretty easy way to use your land armies. Let's queue up this transport now. And drop the expansion. I'm dropping it somewhere safe. And this seems to be 4 tanks, maybe more. I'm going to be cautious around there. It looks like the forward 2-point defense has been taken care of. Bring our tanks forward, and I can hear the ACU. That's in the bottom right. So I have full control over the middle, but this is going to be risky to drop. So let's drop the other side, since my engineer died there. Let's bring some tanks as well. I'm not going to need them in the middle. To have my ACU there. Let's do a good scouting wave with Shift G. And I think we can afford Tech 2 now. Could make a Tech 2 mass extractor as well. I think that is also fine. So let's move forward a little bit. Let's look at their base. Clearly, when is a good time to look at the base? It is when nothing else is going on the map. And I can make sure that nothing else is going on by just retreating all of my units a bit. And that gives us time to zoom in, pay attention. She's got 3 factories, 3 land, 1 just hit Tech 2. And there's no air factory in his base. So I already have a bunch of interceptors. I have free reign over the sky, so let's just make 3 bombers and a scout on repeat. We can bomb all of his power, that'll be game winning for us. But let's finally pay attention to top expansion. I'm gonna secure it with a factory. Push my units forward. Seems to be more than enough for us to take care of his units. And let's finally control the middle. Oh, the point defense is still alive. My units missed it somehow. Yeah, I need to fix my unit queue here, clearly. My rally point, I mean. And my Tech 2 has been done for a minute. On the topic of using attack move for long range units, I'm gonna make the Mongoose, the Gatling bots. I mean, I don't think it'll matter much in this game, but I'm gonna try to use them. But for now, let's send an air scout into the base. Take our interceptors, do an attack move, and then patrol. And let's take our bombers, click the power, and then hit Shift G. It's gonna split up the bombers, showed it in the last episode. It's gonna allow us to hit all of the power at the same time. Let's see how that goes. Got some power already down. The reason I'm targeting power is because he doesn't have much of it. I could be targeting mass extractors, but they're Tech 1, they're cheap, easy to rebuild. He could get these, he could get these. But power is a very limited resource for him right now. So let's just kill it all off. And I don't really have the mass. I don't want to be stuck with his mass income forever, so let's make a mass extractor upgrade. And let's prepare to kill him off, because with this power loss, there's not much he can do anymore. Kill these engineers down here. And use the light assault bots, the Gatling bots. Another thing for Shift G, you can queue up multiple buildings and hit Shift G. The engineers are going to split up and build all of them. Pretty useful for mass extractors. Now let's take these Gatling bots and just right click the ACU. They're going to be using their maximum range. Let's bring the bombers. And that should seal the game for us. Another thing I can do is just attack move my units, of course. Let's go ahead and do that. But yeah, pretty convincing victory. Our opponent was a little low rated compared to previous games. And that makes for two pretty short games. I think I'm going to play another game this episode.